Este episodio está patrocinado por nuestros compas de CasaHumilde Cerveceria, cerveza artesanal, elaborada aquí en Chicago, with a variety of 10 different styles to choose from. CasaHumilde is located at the District Brew Yards, 417 North Ashland in Chicago. Follow them on IG and like them on Facebook at CasaHumilde Cerveceria. To check availability near you, go to www.casahumildechicago.com and check out the store locator. You could also pick up some chelas at the District Brew Yards. CasaHumilde Cerveceria. Stay humilde. This GuacPod episode is brought to you by Borjas Law Group. El abogado Borjas contestará todas tus preguntas, explicará el proceso específico de inmigración que aplica en su caso, el tiempo que se toma procesar su caso y los costos asociados con las tarifas de inmigración y los honorarios legales. Llama al 312-788-2783 para programar tu cita. Y ahí de pasada, menciona el GuacPod para que te den tu consulta gratis.
This episode is brought to you by Rancho Los Guzman, hands down one of the most beautiful rancho-style venues there is in the Chicagoland area. They offer all the necessary services so that your next event is unforgettable. From weddings, quinceañeras, VIP private events, and holiday corporate events. Relax and enjoy while they take care of every single detail. Book your next event at Rancho Los Guzman, 2225 Maple Road in Joliet. For more information, call 815-200-4713 or check out their website at rancholosguzman.com. Se siente bien cuando tomamos la decisión correcta, como cuando eliges la canción perfecta para el momento perfecto, o decides tomar una buena noche de descanso después de un día muy agitado. Tan bueno como tomar la decisión correcta en el tema de seguros. Por eso, Gessiel Gutierrez es agente de State Farm y está aquí en Albany Park para ayudarte a elegir la protección que quieres, el precio que quieres. Gessiel te explicará todo acerca de tus coberturas con State Farm para que sepas qué esperar si ocurre lo inesperado. Con Gessiel Gutierrez es fácil tomar la decisión correcta. Marca su número hoy. Como un buen vecino, State Farm está ahí. This episode is brought to you by Goodfellas Parlor, located at 5939 West 35th Street in Cicero. They are open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. Go check them out on Facebook and follow them on Instagram. Make sure you look good, fellas.
It's also brought to you by Chicago Stickers. Contact R.A Graphix or Chicago Stickers. They're located in Elgin and they print everything from stickers, business cards, t-shirts, flyers, truck lettering. But they got you covered for all the trade show products, like table covers, like this one, like ours, banners, canopies, backdrops, and much more. So for more info, follow them on IG at R.A Graphix with an X or at Chicago Stickers.
Today's episode is brought to you by Aguacate Chicago. Create your custom garment with us. We offer direct-to-garment services for your business or personal needs. There is no minimum order required, and we can also assist with creating your logo if needed. Follow us on all of our social media platforms under Aguacate Chicago. Buenos días, buenas tardes, buenas noches. Su compa Carlos Rodríguez.
What's up, everybody? Yo soy Jesse Grandote.
Your boy Fry from Fry Guy Designs here.
Hell yeah. Compa, why do you
Yeah,
sound...
why all fucking
we're all
sad
like,
and
"Die."
shit? Like,
Yeah, my boy.
Fry Guy Design.
Let's try that again.
All right. Go ahead, start.
Buenos días, buenas tardes, buenas noches. Su compa Carlos Rodríguez.
What's up? Yo soy Jesse Grandote.
What's good, your boy Fry from Fry Guy? I fucked that up now.
Bro.
I got too excited. See, you're supposed to let me,
Let it
just
ride.
Just let you
let it
go
ride.
with it.
Yeah.
All right, bro. We'll go with the first one, bro.
Yeah.
Edit that second one out.
Nah, there's no editing here.
We're here, bro. Episode 3, season 6. Thank you guys for watching, for tuning in every week, every Friday.
You guys survived the tornado, man.
Bro, Tornado Watch, bro. Saludo ahí. Luego explicamos el Tornado Watch, ¿verdad? Pero hopefully everybody that does keep track of us, everyone's safe and fucking with their roof intact.
Shout out to my guy from Chicago Stickers who's in Elgin.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, bro, I hope you're okay with Elgin. He's like, I don't know where in Elgin. He's like, everything's fine by me.
It's fine. No, I just felt bad because for the people que se les inundó el basement,
Again.
where can they run? Like, there's a tornado outside.
Go to
your
the basement.
No, I can't.
Get your life jacket. Go to the basement.
God damn it, bro.
Chingados.
Well, hopefully everyone's fucking
Mother Nature's
safe.
scary.
Hell yeah, bro. It takes its toll. Compadre, empezamos como siempre. Let's shout out the sponsors. Como pueden ver, El saludo para mi compa José y Javi López de Casa Humilde. My
Yes.
boys got a piñata.
I
Is
got
that
a
what it's called?
piñata, man. It's already getting
I got a classic
AMG.
AMG beer.
hazy
Those
pineapple
are-
IPA.
Están
I gotta-
pesadas la
No,
pinche-
ya lo
la
estoy
piñata.
sintiendo ahorita.
Hell yeah.
No, you see me snoring.
Maybe that's what I had before, starting. That's why I was like,
Yeah,
I
that
could
could be
explain
it.
it.
Something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
this.
this is Friday, guys.
A little hazy and shit. Casa Humilde, como siempre, muchísimas gracias. Those guys are always on point with us. Salud para ellos, para todo el equipo. Salud para mi compa Luis Guzmán, Rancho Los Guzman in Joliet. You guys already know it. Casa Humilde Festival's there. Cantarito Los Guzman is there. And many, many more. Aparte de sus fechas para las bodas, para los bautizos, 15 años. It's available for all your personal needs and
I'm
all your
gonna be there
personal...
all weekend, bro. Me voy a dormir ahí con los caballos. Ahí
Ya
en
te
el-
hicieron ahí una camita arriba. I
Yeah,
think,
the
you told me.
hay. And then me hicieron my little window, so I'm just gonna be like,
With the bucket outside, he's gonna be like,
Throw this guy an apple and shit. Para mi compa Gessiel Gutierrez from State Farm. You're, ¿cómo se llama? Like a good neighbor. I was going to say the ops one and shit.
no,
I
you
can't say
can't
the
mess it
ops.
up, man.
I
There
know.
goes the
I
sponsor.
almost did. But para la gente que sí me mandó un mensaje que está preguntando, it's technically not in the advertisement, but we're allowed to showcase his new package. If you get the life insurance, home insurance, auto insurance, you get a free hour of Toxis.
Dang.
You heard it here.
You know what's so crazy is that he's the Paisa Jake. You know how there's a white Jake, a black Jake. He's a Paisa Jake.
He doesn't wear khakis though.
No, he wears the fucking the sombrero.
Un cinto piteado.
Yeah.
He's the Mahomes, the Mahomes of State Farm, the Mexican State Farm. Gessiel Gutierrez out in Albany Park. Go check him out. The advertisements ahí van a salir. Al number one, our day one, sorry, Javi Borjas Law Group.
Yes.
Any questions, any doubts con todo lo que es inmigración, el buen amigo Javi Borjas, bro, that guy's always on point. That guy's always answering.
Gracias.
Consultation is free if you mention el GuacPod.
Yes.
Así es de que aprovechen, si tienen familia, si tienen algún tipo de pregunta y duda, por favor, comuníquense con Javi Borjas. Igual, toda la información va a salir en la pantalla antes y después de empezar y durante el episodio. Para los compas de mi compa Sergio, Goodfellas Barber Parlor 1 and 2.
Bam.
You went.
Bam.
Really fresh, bro.
Freshness.
Lechuga on that ass. Look at that. Fresco. vato.
Yes. Nice.
Para los
Shout out.
compas ahí that they always watch the GuacPod every Friday morning when they open the shop. If you're in there Friday, check out the GuacPod at Goodfellas Barber Partner 1 and 2. Para los compas de Chicago Stickers out in Elgin, our boy out there that did these badass
Nice
cloths.
tablecloths.
Y hace de todo, bro. Hace tent stickers, decals for your truck, for the mamalona.
And look at it, it's
Este-
waterproof. No.
Go check them out. I know a lot of the bands did order, and a lot of the, I seen like Saul from the Platillos Gomez. Like a lot of people ordered a lot of the stickers from him. They're legit.
I
They're
love his
fucking always
pop-up.
on point.
His little line. What is it?
Platillos Gomez te la comes. Ahí está, free promotion for
Yeah.
my boy Saúl Gómez.
Shout out.
Nos debes una taquiza. And then, of course, our very own Aguacate Chicago.
Yes, sir.
Shirts, bam. Shirts, bam.
Todavía
shirt,
no.
Bam. Todavía no. Pero para all your needs with your custom garments, let us know. Shirts, fleeces, hoodies, de todo lo
De
podemos
todo.
hacer, compadre. So those are our sponsors. Igual, if you guys want to really support us, aparte de mirarnos y escucharnos, all of these guys are not just our sponsors, but more than anything, they're our friends, first and foremost. So, salud para ellos y muchísimas gracias para ellos.
Thank you.
Vamos a
Thank you,
empezar
thank
con este episodio que está muy chingón. I'm excited more than anything because, you know, I am a singer. I love, you know, study. I'm a historian of asking and studying singers. And this guy, when I see him, what he's done, what he does,
Man, you
what
already
he keeps doing.
dissected him already.
Bro,
Damn.
I love you know this, bro. I love music. I love singers. I love to know the lo más que yo pueda saber de ellos, their tricks, their anything, their rituals. I love it. I can't wait to hear
I love
everything
it,
because
love
this guy's on allá arriba, bro. For me, top of the list. Singers here in Chicago.
Yes, sir.
Let's give a warm welcome, como ya saben. Para el buen amigo, hay que darle un aplauso muy fuerte al compa Jesús Ramos, compadre. Yeah. That's why I was all awkward. Like, oh, wait, I just said Sergio.
No, and I was like, wait, did I hear that right? But
I apologize about that, bro.
It's all right.
No, you good. You good.
No, but I think that came about because saludos para la familia Suarez, right?
We're always connected. I know.
Totally.
That's why, man. Shout out,
you know,
shout out.
what is it? I appreciate the invite, man. Thank you so much. I'm very excited to be here. I know that in some way we've always been connected, you know, in the industry. We always kind of worked together in the past, but I'm very grateful. I listen to you guys. I'm a listener, so.
Hell yeah.
And a fan.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. It's crazy how la trayectoria tuya has gone, and it's crazy how you say how the past work, because it's like, you know, meeting you for the first time, like personally, it was just like, all right, man, that guy's good, and then you know, some way somehow. We kept finding each other in like private events and mariachi events. I'm like, dang, he's with that mariachi. Damn, he's good. You know, what is it in Coming to America? That boy good.
That boy can sing.
That boy can sing. And then, you know, just, again, following and, again, being a fan, being, you know, and then just being a genuine person in the same place. It's just like, damn, all right. Hey, it's a cool motherfucker. Goddamn.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
And then today before we started, a shout out to our boy Gio from
that's
Guitar
right.
Center.
Shout out.
You know,
Shout out.
He
Big
stopped
shout
by. He stopped by and he's like, oh, I've known him. I've known Jesus for almost my whole life.
Yeah.
I'm like,
No
what
way.
the hell?
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
So I even said, there was a time I think that we even babysit him one time. You know, I was with his sisters and stuff. We're all kind of correlated from the hood when we grew up in Pilsen. So he was, he's somebody that, you know, we saw him grow up. And then one time I went into Guitar Center. I'm like, bro, you work here? I'm like, yeah.
He's a plug. He's a plug.
And ever since then, bro, never looked back.
Hell yeah.
You know, it's funny though, because I didn't meet him. I didn't know he was a plug. I went in there genuinely to freaking to Guitar Center just to buy something. He's like, hey, bro, you're the guy from the GuacPod. I'm like, yeah, that's me. And then next thing you know, he told me the whole story. I'm like, wait, you know this person? You know that person? You know Carlos? You know Fry? What the fuck? Yeah. Like, how come I wasn't put on? And then I told Carlos, I'm like, I just met Gio. He's like, he's the plug, bro.
Yeah, it was a genuine surprise, bro. Cuando me dijo, y pues aquí estuvimos conviviendo con él un ratito, pero pues más que nada, you know, we were anxious to hear your story, and you know, I seen you first through Gessiel, I think through like Mariachi Ameca.
Yeah.
And from there just just blew up. Like all of a sudden I see you like singing national anthems and this with, you know, this baseball team and then the next one, and then I mean I'm just like, okay, badass, let's do this. Like this guy's top of the line. I mean, I would love to hear, you know, how it started. I know you do come from a family background of musicians.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like my family, well, again, thank you guys. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, bro.
In the past, I know we've, you know, encountered each other in one way or another in regards to the business, but thank you again. And yeah, it basically, like my family are all musicians or like singers. We were brought up where even as a kid, I think I always say this, but I thought everyone could sing. I thought it was normal. Until like maybe in school or like I heard somebody sing, I'm like, dude, like I'm over here judging at like 5, but I didn't know. I thought it was normal.
Do it right.
Right. I'm like, bro,
What's
you missed
wrong
that.
with you?
But and all joking aside, like I think that it was something that was inculcado like naturally, very organic, right? So I honestly didn't think that it was something that was different until later. Yeah. And I mean, it's been a beautiful journey, man. I can't even, I guess, explain the story like in 2 hours or in an hour, but it's such a blessing to get to this point where I'm noticed in this sense and by you guys, and I'm just very grateful, man, in general. And overall.
Correction, I think everybody can sing, you know, because there's always that person singing in the bathroom. They're off tone, but they're going to sing.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just when you see them on American Idol, you're like, oh, you can't
Why is
sing,
that guy there?
Right.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Like Simon Cowell, like at 5.
So were you always like a singer per se, or también tocas instrumentos, or?
So
How did that come about?
So I was never in. I never played an instrument in my life. I didn't know. As a matter of fact, like singing was just a thing that I did. I didn't really have plugs to listen to musicians in general. So at a young age, I really didn't know. I wasn't properly trained. And back in the day, obviously, schools didn't offer programs or anything like that.
Right.
So you could, and to find that opportunity, so, but, now I guess in high school, I think that's where I kind of took it more serious. I took choir, kind of helped me. I had a teacher that, Mr. Landis, who, shout out to him. He took me kind of under his wing, kind of taught me some techniques and stuff like that, so I can kind of take home and listen, and I sang a lot at home. I did. A lot of it was self, taught. I always had a voice, but it wasn't like properly trained until obviously in high school. But, when you're young, you're singing a puro pecho abierto, and you don't know what you're doing. You're hurting yourself.
You're hurting your, yeah.
What high school did you go to?
So I went to I was registered to Juarez, and then I went there for a few months, and I ended up moving to West Leiden for a while. But I went to West, but majority of my grammar school and everything, I went to Spry. I went to
Oh shit!
So
Now this is the story all about.
right, exactly.
Oh, that's badass.
Mr. Chapa, you remember Mr. Chapa? I don't know if you remember him. He had a big ass ring. He popped kids in the head. We're all traumatized.
What grade was that?
I want to say it was probably like second grade, third grade. Or something.
What year?
Right.
What year was that?
Bro, I don't remember, bro. Don't even ask me, bro.
what year?
89, 90.
Okay.
When teachers can get away with that shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
at that
no,
time.
but he was cool though, bro.
Yeah.
It's crazy because he's the one that I only remember. So he did some right.
He made you remember.
Yeah, bro.
Hell
There you
yeah.
go.
Te has acordar de mí, imbécil.
Look at this ring. Look at this ring. Was when you were growing up? Look at this. Yes. Were you was there a singer that you mimicked?
So when I was younger, dude, I love R&B. I love R&B. I'm a big fan of Boyz II Men, 112, all those cats. But my cousin was married to my cousin married Sonia, Sonia, and they're actually, it's crazy because their family, they're the owners of Cilantro. I don't know if you were for Cilantro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we grew up kind of with them too in Pilsen. So they were always in the areas in the hood, and I owe a lot to her because she influenced Antonio, her husband, who's my cousin. He's my first cousin, and Luis Miguel was her
Idol.
yeah. And when I first listened to him, man, because I loved raw singers in general, he was the first Spanish singer that I just admired.
Wow.
Vocally, bro, that guy's a monster to this day. He's still a monster. And I try to mimic him. I can't say I was like him, but my cousin actually had a better voice back then, Antonio. And I'm not taking that away from him because he did his thing too. He was into the house music. He was on B96. He did a bunch of stuff.
Nice.
But he stopped the music stuff and got into his career. I'm the one that kind of took, out of everyone in the family, I'm the one that kind of took it more serious and
took it to a different level.
Right, education and a little bit of, and besides too, back then I was very timid, so I really didn't showcase who I was until later on, even after high school. Man.
You flowered, you sprouted, but being a fucking beast of Luis Miguel, I've always seen one of the things, and I know it's so weird because I'm not a singer.
Right.
I love music, but I love analyzing. A singer, right?
Yeah, I agree.
And whenever they do the microphone, the this,
They pull away.
and then they pull away. It's I'm damn, that's cool.
Yeah.
You see Luis Miguel, his fucking microphone's down
Oh
here.
man, he's a what is it? Engineer's nightmare, bro. Because this guy, because I do the same thing. I analyze singers like that, and Luis Miguel, even though he's wrong to a certain extent, because he has problems similar to me. I have tinnitus issues, and I'm not comparing myself to him, but he has issues with his hearing. And did you guys ever see that series?
The series.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
So remember when he was having those problems? So ever since then, he was very particular about his movement. And when you have a monitor, bro, you know how it is. You got singers, it's horrible. So for somebody like that, bro, it's hard to navigate.
navigate.
Yeah. But he projects. which is he ain't fake with his voice. Like, he knows what he's doing. He was properly trained. He mastered his own craft. Like, he's a master in what he does. Similar to a Vicente that he's done it. I mean, he was, even before he passed, bro, this guy he was selling out the concert in Mexico. You know,
And he would do the same thing. Like, he would just belt out without a fucking microphone.
Exactly.
Inside and
So I love that. I love power singers. That's where I kind of focus more my focus on. In English, bro, I studied a lot of those R&B style singers from back in the day, but my passion was always jazz. Like, my dad influenced me with, like, Nat King Cole. He was a big Frank Sinatra fan. Dean Martin. My dad had a very he has such an amazing voice. Like, his voice is, even when he talks, it's very soothing and scary, you know. So it's like Mufasa, bro. Like, Chewie, baby. Like that, dude. It's
You see him in the clouds,
I'm faking it.
Chewie.
Yeah, like, it's like it resonance.
Yeah.
You know, resonance.
Yeah.
So it was cool to kind of listen to the 8 tracks.
Hell yeah.
Because I was from those days, you know, my dad played 8 tracks. And, yeah.
¿También se hacía eso con él?
Yeah, también.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we got the idea, right? Like,
Nintendo. It was natural.
Just
Yeah.
8-track that shit.
Nate track that shit.
So I remember that, and I tried to mimic their I guess pronunciation in English, because in the hood, you know, you're talking street, but I really followed a lot of their structure. And what Frank Sinatra, D. Martin, and Sammy Davis did, they created it wasn't about singing. It was an entertainment, like a show.
Yeah.
So it was like they're doing
like comedy skits
yeah,
and
dude,
all
it
that
was
shit.
so
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah.
So I would study like the Sands, you know, those when they did the Sands concert and they're doing their monologue and all of that. And I try to mimic it, even though it sounded odd. But I honestly mastered it, bro, to a point where it's not. I don't sound like them, but I see what they were doing technique-wise. Where I found similarities to singers. So I found Frank Sinatra's pronunciation and approach to a song is very similar to Elvis's, and people don't know that. There's a lot of
Similarities.
Oh, I'm sorry, no. Dean Martin and ¿cómo se llama? Elvis.
Oh.
They all had that same tone, and Frankie was more on his vowels. So he was whoa, ee, like. So I tried to like mimic that to what I was doing, and obviously certain songs don't fit, but I always like melodic music.
Yeah.
That was like melodic music is more showcased towards the singer.
And
You
to
know?
think all those crooners, like, you know, Frank Sinatra, all of they all smoked while they were fucking playing.
Right.
And then you sang.
It was
they're
kind
like,
of cool. It was
Exactly.
kind of cool.
Crazy.
It
What
was
up, everybody?
dope. Yeah, exactly. And it's well, I don't smoke, and I always try to, like, obviously, but it looked dope, bro. Like, I wish I did.
They made it look so cool. Like, fuck.
Bro, I wish I did.
They would come out some crazy vocals and
Yeah.
then just be like,
Right.
just smoking all
How's
crazy.
everybody doing?
Right. Straight up. I don't drink anymore. I freeze it like a popsicle.
Hey, you should buy one of them like old school back in the day, the little gum cigarettes, and just
When
My-
you blow
one
out
of
the
my
sugar
where you
and shit.
blow out the sugar. Like,
Right. Oh, you're right, man.
One of my friends, he found a candy store with all that stuff.
no way.
Like all the old school
Put
candy.
me
stuff.
on.
Like,
Put
I gotta
me on.
find
man,
that.
Put me on.
You can use it on your act. Just
Nah, I'm gonna do that, dude. I'm gonna do that.
No,
But,
man, but
it's
how
fun.
come you like? It's funny how you're talking about enunciation and everything, because like me as an old person and like an MC, a DJ, and being on radio stations, like a lot of people are like, you don't enunciate well, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know, huh? I know. And like how did you break away from like the you know, the slang, the neighborhood slang, the whole. You know, the whole, it's pretty much the neighborhood slang.
Yeah.
You know, like, I know, right?
Yeah.
I know.
Like, for real, bro.
Yeah,
I still fall. I mean, I think like, when we were with my boys, like, it was different. I faked it till I made it, bro. Like, no one knew that I was doing that in my basement or whatever.
shit.
No one knew that I could sing like that, like my friends, because I thought they were going to judge me.
Okay.
You know?
Right.
And back in the day, it wasn't, you listen to Frank Sinatra, like, how am I going to say that? You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
But so I'm not gonna. Back then was a different era, obviously. So I didn't realize till later how much impact those singers had to each individual person. And I believe wholeheartedly, like a great watch that's vintage and comes back, you know what it was back then, like what kind of diamond they were, you know? They can't be broken. Even Frank Sinatra's, and I don't know if you guys knew this, and this is probably later on, but when I got introduced to mariachi, like, it was new for me, it was foreign. So when I heard for the first time, like, Javier Solis, for me personally, bro, I'll never forget. I got chills every time I heard this man, because I heard his recordings, and I'm just, like, in awe, like, just how is it that this man just sounds silky like that, right? And later on, find out that Frank Sinatra's favorite singer is Javier Solis.
Yeah.
So I'm like, makes sense. Like, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, wow. So a lot of it, to me personally, for as a kid, I try to mimic. I was trying to mimic their approach technically, like technical wise. So not to try to. I try to mimic in some sense like their style, but it was hard, bro. Back then, you're
really
talking about
hard.
the 50s to the 80s and the 90s.
Yep.
There's no way.
Did you ever think about, like, a veces, like, when I was growing up, a mí me encantaba, like, la cultura italiana, you know? And it was like, and I always liked that type of music, Frank Sinatra. I would listen to it. And then, but, like, I would try to mimic it as well. Like, did you also try to do the A shirts? Did you ever think that you were in what sense Italian, bro? Porque a veces, a mí me encantaba la comida, me encantaba the whole mobster thing. I was, like, fascinated with that, dude.
I wasn't educated enough to know that.
Okay.
Back then, obviously, we didn't have that type of social media and to even know that type of history. Because in Pilsen, you're in your circle. Like, to me, when we moved to Melrose, bro, I thought it was Naperville. Like, I didn't see.
It was a big culture shock.
Yeah,
Big,
dude.
yeah.
And then when people are looking at me, like, you know what I'm talking about. Like, you're, like, why are they looking at me like they're like you're trying to check people, but they're just really being nice to you. They're saying, "Hey, how's it going?"
Yeah.
But
Don't touch me.
yeah, but I was very like quiet and very reserved. People didn't know what I was doing. Like, again, in my basement, I'm just like closing myself and listening to, and probably busted my ears listening to those Walkmans, you know, back in the day. Like, those things are directly, you know, where you don't have that control, but you're just listening. You immersed yourself in that.
You're not even just listening. You're just like, it's research for you, like,
Yeah,
right?
bro.
You're just like looking at every aspect of it. Like you said, you're looking at Frank Sinatra's pronunciations,
Yeah.
which is a small detail, probably flies over a lot of people's heads,
Right.
right? But you're just paying attention, like, man, how he does his O's,
How does he do
how he
that?
does
Yeah.
this, and how he opens his mouth when he does vowels, and like, that's research for me, like, and that's the hunger.
I
Right?
agree, and I didn't think that this was gonna happen. Like, me here doing this, like, I never thought that was gonna propel me to have my business that I have now. And that's why I say it was so organic and very free for me to do that. But it took work. It wasn't something that it was just like, oh yeah, I was gifted with a gift of song, of a voice, but it wasn't. It took some time, and I was very grateful that we had that access, right, to that music, and that my dad introduced me to that.
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't for that, or Antonia's wife introducing to Luis Miguel, you know, who knows? Maybe I would have gone a different direction.
Yeah.
But deep down inside, I loved R&B, because that was like,
We'll probably see him in an R&B album
Bro,
or like
you
a
never
rap
know.
album.
You
you
never
I
know?
loved it, man.
Jesus Ramos coming at you direct
Yeah.
and live.
Let's fire up a trash can.
Right.
Bro. Right here on 63rd.
No, it's funny because R&B helped me a lot with I don't know if that's the right pronunciation. My teachers probably get mad, but meligmas, like being able to do runs and stuff like that. So I try to break it down, you know, to where I'm like, oh, man. And there's some monster singers like Brian McKnight, dude. That makes my head spin on how crazy he can manipulate his voice. And I'm noticing now that young kids are doing it, because obviously they have that access
that.
now.
Yeah.
And it's so simple for them. But for
Yeah.
me back then, it was like, what the hell is he
No,
doing?
yeah, hell yeah.
¿Qué es algo que puedes identificar entre todos estos géneros? Like, I want mariachi. Something has to have something like something in common.
Yeah.
Mariachi, R&B, jazz, Frank Sinatra, like all that 50s, 60s, or 40s. Right. What does all of that music have in common for you?
Well, I'm not a historian where I can tell you like how the history of each of them correlate, but I think everything falls back to classical music. So if you want to learn Metallica music, right, and playing the guitar and learn riffs, everything comes back for the basic fundamentals of classical music, right? Mm-hmm. So I think
like Mozart and all that
exactly,
stuff?
Dude. Everything falls into that, and I think, and I'm not I listen to some of it, but if I told you that I'm like a professional in listening, I'm not. I listen to music just like basic everyone, but if I can correlate it, this is just my opinion. It goes back from that, but there are similarities into mariachi, I'd say jazz music or even R&B, because they all have that same pattern, in melodic sound. Okay. And even though they have their own genres, I think when you hear a romantic song, no matter who it is, it's all about interpretando la canción, ultimately. So I think no matter what genre it is, it's how you could have a low voice, a high voice, or whatever. I'll give you an example. Chris Stapleton, right? Like, to me, he's one of the best raw singers right now that exists. He did the National Anthem, bro, in a key that anyone probably could sing it. But the way he did it. Dude, I put him at like number 2 next to Whitney on that performance. Shit. You get chills just listening to that.
And you're number 3, right?
No, I mean, I would not say that. I would not say that. But
you're most definitely right on that, man.
Yeah. And it's nice, bro. That feeling of the people that, when you're doing it, I guess, como lo reciben, it's something special because you see the reaction of what they're doing. Even the cameraman, I see cameramen like,
right.
I got you, bro.
Do you whenever you have that direct contact con la audiencia, like, do you ever get nervous? Because like whenever I'm talking, I'm talking to somebody and I look at somebody in the eye, I get stuck. I'll be like,
yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit, like, and then I forget my train of thought, and that's why sometimes I look away, I look up, I look down, or I try not to make eye contact because I'm always like.
I know. I feel you on that. I think the test of time is the crooner feel, the smaller venues. Like we were talking about Sergio and them. They gave me the opportunity to do La Tequileria, and I love that place.
Man, that place was awesome.
Did
you guys ever try to get to La Tequileria?
I haven't been there for a show, but I've been there. Yeah.
Well, for me personally, it was beautiful because I always dreamed of that. I always, and Frank Sinatra said in the past too, and he's right about that. Like, he prefers the smaller places.
The smaller rooms?
Yeah, the 10, 15, 20 people, 30 people, the max. He loved that because it was intimate. You hear everything. Mm-hmm. And it's like you got everyone. The feeling of having everyone at once. You got the cooks even in the back. That's the shit, dude. The first note that he hits as soon as he sings, and he has people turn around, you got him, right? So that's something that I appreciate. I love to sing, bro. Everything else is a fluff. I say, my opinion, for me. Like, I don't care about noticing or whatever. I just want people to listen and feel it because I felt it when I listen to these guys sing. And that's, to me, that's what's everything, man. Like, getting somebody and bringing them back to a certain moment or whatever through my vocals, like, it's a beautiful thing, man. And Sergio gave me that opportunity at La Tequileria because there was no other place that I wasn't sure of myself to go to a jazz club yet. I didn't have enough clout. I didn't know people in the industry. Now I know. And I put myself down in a category of, a check mark that, hey, man, I did it. I met some people that are in the industry that respect what I do. Right. And they gave me the opportunity to perform at a venue like that, very small, very intimate. And to me, it meant a lot more than, you know, and I'm not saying they're not special, because to me, singing at a big place, I'm in my zone. I'm singing and I'm focusing on what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like doing the national anthem, like I'm focused on what I'm doing at that moment and what's going to come out of my voice. I'm not worried about anyone else, right? But when the test is being in front of people, and Tequileria taught me of interacting and feeling confident, accepting to say yes and thank you to them giving me just a simple, like, hey man, you're a badass singer, like a compliment. And that's where I found myself shying away from in the past. And even with clients, like I lost a lot of opportunities when I was younger because my natural whatever is hide. Like I sing, this powerful singer, and then just like diminish myself. Oh, thank you, and then just walk away.
Just walk away.
Because to me, I already did my duty. I gave you guys what you wanted, and then I went. Until later on, I found that it was very important. And I went back to it's crazy. It brought me back to the days of the Rat Pack, how they did it, how they had to dazzle people outside of their business of singing. And Frank Sinatra was also an actor. He did a bunch of stuff, but confidence and all that came in, you know, once I got my craft and I showed it, then it's easier for the client to remember you instead of just, oh, he was a good singer. But no, like I didn't say, hey, my name's Jesus Ramos. I'm glad you enjoyed the show today. You know, please come again. And that's it. And it's better than just not just walking away and to the mist, right? Like, I wonder who that guy was.
How do you do it in a room of like 200 or maybe 2,000 or maybe even 100,000?
You know what? I think again, like I'm in the moment. I just want to sing. I don't care about nothing else. I'm just trying to focus on what's coming out, as I said before. It's the feeling. I'll give you an example. Like this last time that I did the Cubs, I'm a big Cub fan, as y'all see, but
yes, sir, yes, sir.
And I grew up in the South Side,
and that's why Fry put on the hat.
Yeah, right. I had to counter it.
Yeah, I gotta. My home is divided too. So but what is it? This last time was special because I'm a big fan, right?
Yeah.
But I've done the Bears, and the Bears is epic, you know? The first time that I did it there, I think it was like 70,000 people. And it was insane, bro. It was a full house. Like, it was crazy. And I was afraid because what I'm afraid about in those spaces is the sound.
Right.
I don't care about nothing else. It's just how it's going to come out. Because I've done, in the past, I did the White Sox. You know, I was one of the guys that actually started the mariachi trend of singing in the mariachi and singing and whatever. So I did it a few times at the White Sox. And then I did it at the Bulls, I did the anthem. And then they even, I'll never forget, 2016 when the Cubs went to the World Series. I was asked to sing at the Phoenix Suns game. I was so pissed because I didn't know the Cubs were going to go to Game 7. So I was in Phoenix when they won the World Series. But I told them, I'm like, dude, like I was a diva, bro. I'm like, you got better have a TV there for me. Like,
this is my rider. All M&Ms have to be blue.
Right.
Cubby blue, please. All of them.
Blue Gatorade. It was. I'll tell you what, man. It was crazy because I wish I would have been here, man. But unfortunately, I had already committed. And cuando la chamba cae. You know, you gotta.
It's work, man. It's work. As far as like an entertainer, you know, it's trabajo, and you can't.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big opportunity, man. You're at a basketball stadium.
Right. And I literally did the anthem, bro, and went straight to the back, to the dressing room, watch the game, and then I'm like, fuck this. I didn't even say hi to anyone. Like I didn't stay after to like get politics. Nah, bro. It's because you know how it is. Like you're a fan. Like you wanna experience it. And dude, no sé qué pasó, bro, pero un compa mío estaba ahí that we used to play softball together. He was there and he's a big Cub fan también, Mando. And bro, I'll never forget that. He told me, don't tell me you're in Phoenix. I'm like, don't tell me you're in Phoenix. And I'm like, dude, he works for a State Farm. And I told him, come by, I'll get you a pass. And I told the lady, hey, give me a pass for my boy. Like, he's like, no problem, Jesus. He came by. We went to the Tilted Kilt, like right in front of the whatever. Dude, it was epic. We were like kids, man. Like,
You're the only two ones, two cheering. Yeah.
The emotional stress was insane.
Yeah.
But it was a good story. But when I did the Cubs, they reached out and they told me, hey, we would love to have you. And I'm like, I've been waiting for this call. Like, you guys are the only ones that I haven't done in Chicago, you know, the only stadium. And I'm a big fan. He's like, awesome. Her name is Jade. And 2-hour delay, bro.
Oh.
I get there. 2-hour delay. And I'm like, damn. And what's worse is that I'm nervous already, bro, because I don't know the space. They don't have in-ear monitors. I wanted to be a diva and say, hey, man, y'all have in-ear monitors because of that bounce back.
Yeah.
I hate that, you know?
Yes, sir.
And so she's like, do you mind waiting? Of course, like, I'm going to wait, you know, no problem. He's like, can you come, you know, they took us to my wife, my kid, and my sister. I brought them. They actually got a chance to be on the field. It was dope.
Nice.
And they brought us down to some room area down by the field near where they do the anthem. And they're like, don't go in that room. And I'm like, okay, like, whatever.
It's the black room.
Right. And we're in there for 2 hours, bro. It's cold as fuck. I mean, it's humid up there, but it's cold because of the air. My voice is already, you know?
Shit.
So I'm like, fuck. So I'm going to do one practice before I go up. So we got closer to the time. She messaged me, said, hey, it looks like the rain is going to break. We're going to do this. I'm like, cool. Then some people came down. I didn't even see who they were. They were in suits and shit. They went in. And I went out and I did my vocal, like basically the performance one time before.
Like test run?
But an
My
exercise.
test run.
But
I always
like
do it once.
But like on the mic or
No, solo.
just solo.
A cappella.
Okay.
Yeah, they didn't offer that there. They don't do that. Anyway, a guy comes out and he's like, hey, that's you singing? I'm like, I thought you were a big black guy. We were making a bet. We were making a bet who it was. I shit you not, he said that. I'm like, well, I'm kind of black. I said, you know, pinche sol. So I'm like, oh, okay. I like that.
I can see them in the room like, I bet you that's a black dude.
I walk in there, bro, and it's the president of the Cubs.
Oh.
So I'm saying what's up to him, bro. I'm nervous as hell, bro. I'm like, yeah, what's up? Yeah. And they were all laughing, you know. I wanted to take a picture, but obviously I'm not. But they're like, oh, man, you are, you know, amazing. Thank you so much. Dude, the guy, his name is Kenny. Man, bro, the nicest guy. He reminded me of the owner from, you remember Rookie of the Year?
Yeah.
Like the owner from that movie, bro. Like so nice with the Cracker Jack. Like he reminded me of him. Brought me back, bro. Put me in, coach. So it was. So when I was starting to sing, I felt a little bounce, you know, and I was unsure when I was singing, but bro, it sounded amazing. Like the place provided a nice little. I guess what's the word like. It's almost like a circle sound coming from everywhere. It was weird. And I never heard that feel like while I'm singing here, you know, like as a sphere way. Oh, it was a weird sound, but it's beautiful. I could hear myself clearly.
Like a 360 monitor almost?
Exactly, bro. And there's no monitors anywhere.
Yeah.
So it felt like a bowl. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, obviously the Cubs stadium's like a bowl, but it was cool. And then I started singing, and I felt a little hesitant in the beginning. The whole performance, bro, like, I know that in my mind, in my standards, I butchered it, but I was feeling it. Every note that I'm hitting, I'm feeling it. I'm emotional, and I'm like, stop, bro. Like, you're gonna mess it up. Like, you're gonna sound, you know, flat or whatever. But I'm singing, and then I open up my eyes a little bit, and I look at the cameraman, and anda llorando el güey. So I'm just like I'm doing
I
it.
fucked it up.
Yeah.
Is it that bad? He's
Me
crying.
está chingando, güey. Me está chingando. And I'm just, I got done with it, and I, back to reality, and bro, me recibieron, like it was different.
Nice.
It was a different feeling than, and the Bears was dope, because everyone, and I me hice buen amigo con el director de los Bears. So, como compas, bro, we're ready for you, bro. You're ready for this
you're
year.
ready.
Yeah.
Like, dope, bro. Cool as hell. Nos respetamos en ese aspecto. Y siempre, me habla cuando alguien cancela. Hey, Chu, you're in? Like, ahí te llego.
Damn right.
So it's,
And that was all a cappella, right? There was like no music.
No
Music in the
music,
back. Like,
no
there was.
nothing. And when I did it with the mariachi back then, I was with Mariachi Monumental. Shout out to them.
Shout out.
They gave me an opportunity when los inicios de ese mariachi. Yo estaba en ese grupo.
Okay.
So empezamos así. Y ya después conocí a Miguel, which Miguel was a big influence in my life in the music industry in el mariachi. He when you find somebody special, man, because that man is like a walking like talent, bro.
Yeah.
Like he shits music,
And not special like short buzz talent, like the little short buzz. No. This guy,
He's a monster.
He's a
too,
monster.
Amazing,
He's a
bro.
monster.
Amazing.
O sea, les dan 2 for 2 with like the banging voice, like the deep
Yes.
baritone voice.
Yes.
Like you guys are kind of hand on hand.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I give him the edge, man, because he has the, like I said, the theory behind his stuff. And, there's limitations to what I do. I know that I provide a different type of service, but he's a walking talent. And I love the man to death. And what I loved about Miguel from anyone that I've experienced in the music industry is that me recibió como familia. And when I left, me dio mis bendiciones, bro.
Nice.
Like,
Which is, you know how it is about bands.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes they're like, what the fuck? And like, oh, whatever.
The hard
bro.
feelings and stuff. Yeah.
Like, he
Miguel.
left us. He left
Yeah.
us.
Don Miguel, dude, I miss them, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I miss the camaraderie that we had, in las chambas. Pero Don Miguel, Don Jaime, Miguel, Andrés, Rocio, all of them, Jaime, Cervantes.
Ahí va, Miguel. You could call him Don already, though.
Yeah. So he's you guys got to bring him here
Nah,
because he
shout out
has
to
a
la-
definitely. Yeah.
Shout out to la familia Cervantes.
Totalmente,
They're
un saludo
just
para ellos.
one of if not one of the best. I mean, there's monsters, but like you said, 1, 2, 3. They're the top 3 mariachis in Chicago.
One of my favorites for
One
sure.
of the
bro.
favorites for sure.
Yeah.
Like, and especially when you were there, pues hasta más.
No, we were a group to reckon with, and a lot of people also didn't like that were in other bands and stuff, obviously, because they saw that we had something, in particular that was special. But he helped me a lot, and I'm a little slow when it comes to learning certain things, and I say it because it is I'm gonna be as fluid as I can with you guys. I'm not a genius in any way. I try. I'm a pretty good mimicker in that sense, and I know where I'm at. Like, my objective has never been to be famous or nothing like that. I've always said that. I just love music, and I love to listen, and I'm just like you. Like we've shared the space that we're in, the space that we've shared. It's all been in the same business. We in some way somehow. So. I categorize myself in that as an entertainer. That's why I say entertainer. Like, I do a bit of everything, and maybe I don't call it in some sense, somebody saying that because you hear it, that he's fake or he doesn't do his own stuff, and it's true, but I offer something that a lot of people don't offer, and that's where I market myself with, because there's a lot of people that are in need in what I offer, and not a lot of people can do that. So I stick with that. I'm okay with that.
Your
How do you,
lane.
and how do you deal with that? I wasn't aware, like, if people do like say negative things, like,
Yeah.
how do you take it, or how do you
So my first experience, I'll tell you, my first
those things are
experience,
tough.
It's hard.
right? Yeah.
My first experience, when you were saying about being Italian and all that.
Yeah.
My first experience in singing at a venue, a friend of mine that was a DJ, he invited me to his gigs. That's when I started helping him with speakers and all of that. Later on, he's like, bro, you could sing. And I was just fucking around in his car. He's like, bro, you could sing. You should sing at our wedding, at the weddings. I'm like, okay. And that's what got me the courage to start singing. You know, like
different
doing,
things?
Yeah,
Like that?
different things. Like I was doing just Frank Sinatra stuff. Like at weddings, like, you know, all that stuff is perfect.
Yeah.
So me dio el courage de hacerlo. Llegó el punto donde lo estaba haciendo cada ratito. He was doing well, you know, because of that too. And I'll never forget. It was probably a year in, and I was very, very desilusionado. And I think every singer has gone through something like that. But me, it was an Italian guy came up to me, or we were doing it like, you know, what are you doing fucking singing our music, you know? And it sucked, bro. And the thing is that was, the client was a, like, I don't want to say the father or something of the bride that came up to me and said that. So that makes me feel like shit, you know? And I was hurt, bro, hurt hasta la madre. And not only because I'm very reserved. Even when I was singing, bro, I was singing and then hiding in the back.
Yeah.
Like, pero me dolió y pues, pero le seguí y al fin de cuentas me salí. I told him, hey, bro, like, I'll help you when you want, but I stopped singing with him. And my first performance ever was at the Olympic Theater.
Okay.
Me invitaron por primera vez a cantar en frente de personas, and I went up there with a mariachi, bro. I got there 2 hours early. Like, I was excited. I didn't even sing mariachi. Like, I had 2 Luis Miguel songs, Si Nos Dejan and Amaneció Otra Vez, you know? Those are the only songs that I learned.
Great song.
So I met the mariachi dude, and I'm not going to bust them out, bro, because, you know, we all know how that culture is. But I was disappointed, too, with the way they treated me because I'm young and I didn't know, right? And, you know, they were offering me stuff and all that, and I was denying it. And they were like, you know, stop being a bitch or whatever. But what they don't know is that I can't be doing that stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so I just left it alone. There was one mariachi guy. He was like 19 years old, bro. Se llama Josué. And he listened to me, and he's like, bro, you have something that I haven't heard in a long time. So I performed that day. People loved it. It was amazing. And it was 2 days. I performed. Abrí para El Costeño or something like that. El Costeño,
the comedian?
comedian. I got to meet him too.
Yeah.
It was dope. And weeks later, I basically met up with the mariachi guy to his crib. He invited me. I was kind of like in shock. He's showing me songs in the vihuela. First time I've ever even heard of mariachi in general.
Holy
like that.
shit.
You know?
Like up close like that.
Up close and personal, like, this is so dope. And me and him are just singing. He's singing vihuela, and I'm singing. Listen to the singer, listen to the singer, listen to the singer. And it just kind of flourished from there. And then he was part of Mariachi Monumental.
Okay.
So I got to meet some great musicians, like maestros in the game. And it propelled me to learn and study the music of mariachi now. So that's where I got into learning the underground. That's how I am, bro. I went into, a lot of people don't know, like Pedro Rey, like all these singers, bro, that are like deep mariacheros. And I wanted to sound like them. I'm talking about vocals, nothing outside of that, just vocals.
Well, everybody knows mainstream, you know.
Right,
It's
right.
like, you know, of course, Vicente Fernández. Y nunca se le va a quitar ese puesto, you know. But Javier Solís, what other mariacheros?
In mariacheros, like, to me, like Sol de Mexico, Mariachi Sol de Mexico, like el maestro José Hernández, he's probably one of the most known. He did a lot of the recordings for Juan Gabriel and Selena when she was doing the mariachi stuff. Nice. But I listened to him a lot, and his José Hernández, I loved Pedro Rey. He's related to the Hernandez family, and his story is crazy. I mean, vocally, bro, people will go see this guy back in the day, like, to just listen to him sing. Mariachis will go see him sing.
Dang.
That's how dope he was. It was different. It wasn't powerhouse. It was not. It was just different. He brought something organic to it, and I listened to him. And I'm not saying I can mimic him. I just liked his sound. without even knowing, right? So later on in life, like obviously, I started to understand like the business aspect of it and how much work it brought up, the sacrifices that we made as when I was younger, like not being at parties, like, bro, es una chinga, bro. Mariachi es una chinga. Just
Sacrificing, you know, your own family, accomplishments and stuff. Pero con el mariachi abrió muchas puertas. Like I remember seeing you, you know, working directly with Vicente Fernandez, going out to Jalisco, doing a show. What was it, Mexico en el Corazon? Like you technically toured.
Yeah.
How was that for you?
I did it for a few years with el maestro Sergio Suarez, que me dio la oportunidad. I was good friends with David already. So it was perfect because I was working tequileria, and then right after, Mexico en Corazon is hitting. And then we didn't know how far we were going to take it. So I got the news that they were going to be doing a recording with, you know, el maestro Carlos Martinez from Mariachi Vargas. And he came up with the arrangements for the song Mexico en Corazon, escrito by Jessica Duval. She's a great composer. And she actually wrote la de Sangre en tu Cuerpo by Pepe Aguilar, that he sings it. But anyway, I never thought in a million years like I'd be there. Like where, you know, what's his name? Jose. Is it Jose, the photographer? He invited me. Well, it was me and him and David. And when we went into we were like kids, bro. Like we're in the rancho and shit. We went to his studio. We recorded at his studio. It was, I can't even like explain the emotions, you know. And then I got to meet Vargas, musician, that we became friends right after. Nice. And we reach out every time they come out here. He'll be like, "I got tickets for you, Chewy." I'm like, "Cool, I'm there, bro." Like, you know, it's dope as hell, man. And to get the respect and from those people that are in the game like that meant a lot. And even Carlos Martinez was like, dude, this guy can blow, you know, he could sing. So it's nice, bro. It's nice to know that all the work is paying off. So.
It's that recognition, right? Like that you're getting like, oh shit, I'm impressing these people.
Exactly. And it's not that, it's just that I'm doing something right. It's not that I'm boasting, oh, I'm a badass. Yeah. I know what my faults are and las cosas que tengo que trabajar. But I'm very critical with my approach.
But like you said, like I feel like, as an artist, when a person you admire or respect, you know, gives you that compliment, you're finally in your head, you're like, damn, I'm doing it right. Like you just said, I'm doing something right, at least, you know? Yeah. And it's like a little bit of relief because you've been trying at it. And to have somebody like that to that stature say, like, I just think it's a relief. And
dude.
A lot from your shoulders.
He had just finished recording the Luis Miguel album. Like we were recording with him. Yeah. He was directing the whole thing. And he's like, I did the whole project of Luis Miguel. He won a Grammy, bro. And I'm here chilling with him, bro. Like, I'm just want to touch him, bro. Like, but he's dope, bro. Like, people like that. And to be honest, man, in my opinion, Miguel ain't too far from that to me. You know, he's one of those people that has that same aura, you know. And he comes from a very deep family that I think personally it's been a blessing for me. And I always say this, like, it's weird how you're placed in positions in your life, and that has helped you, you know, propel. And it's almost like imanes, bro. Like, you know, he's got the same vibe that I am. We're respectful people. We ain't on bullshit. We try to focus on the things that are important in our lives. And I really admired and liked the fact that, you know, he comes from a good family, and those things matter to me outside of the things that can take you to other places, right?
Yeah. The main thing is that I don't think that either of you guys also didn't do it like for the fame. You know, like you brought it up earlier. Right. I think it has a lot. When you get that respect from the people that you respect, it's a huge validation. But you're just like, all right, I am doing something right. Right. And I don't need anybody else to kind of validate it. You know. Exactly. That's the big part, I think. And then Post Miguel, I actually thought you guys were related, to be honest, you know, because you guys have the same demeanor. Right. You know, you guys are soft-spoken, very respectful. And great at your craft. I mean, I thought you were from that family as well at first.
We've made some correlations and connections because we're not too far from. My family actually comes from part of the descendants from my family come from Ameca too. Okay. So we're not too far fetched. We're from the same areas, you know. And my family eventually moved to further out to a rancho, but not too far from Gonzalo's, where Gonzalo's from.
Oh, yeah. Pan del Oro?
Yeah.
Right. So where's your family?
Well, my mom is, they're all in Guadalajara, but my dad is una hacienda que se llama Aguacate, en Jalisco.
Okay.
Y mi mamá, pues, ella, you quiere decir como la Unión de Tula area, like around that area.
Okay.
But again, my family are all in Guadalajara now, so I really didn't really know the areas. I would go to Mexico. It's funny because I won a competition. I'll never forget. One of my best friends, Danny Torres, that guy, man, he's a shout out to Danny because he's somebody that helped me out a lot. He was always on my side, like honest with me, always kept me going. And I won a competition, bro, and I beat Rocio. Rocio is Miguel's, you know. Yes. And it's funny because Miguel was busting on her. Everybody sing that song too, you know. So we won I guess the prize was go to Mexico, the ticket to Mexico. Mm-hmm. So it was 2 tickets. So I brought my boy Danny and me, and we went to Ameca. Bro, as we still talk about that day over there, all the mariachis from his family, they're all musicians, bro. They shit music, like everyone, bro. And they're all outside of the house singing and everything. I'll never forget. we went out there, bro, and they showed me what La Cuna del Mariachi is, like where it was like a short-lived time, but it resonated with us forever. And me and Miguel, Jaime was there. It's crazy because Jaime, his wife was expecting his lady was expecting a baby, bro, and he just made it back. Oh, like shit! It was crazy, but we enjoyed that trip, and in regards to the music, I think that helped. That also helped me grow and enamorarme de la música mexicana, which I wasn't. It wasn't even part of my equation on what I did, but that propelled me. La música mexicana is why I'm here today. Like it propelled me because a lot of people share that common thing. And it seems like in Mexico, it's not as it's accepting because it's traditional, but it's not something that they listen to.
It's not mainstream.
Right.
Yeah.
And out here, it's like it's like como que lo anhelan and they want it. And that goes with Mexico en el Corazon. You see when you go perform everywhere, bro, like all over the U.S., like people are crying, bro. People like como que lo anhelan, they want it, and we bring that little piece of happiness to them, dude. It's beautiful,
What do you think personally? Mariachi music isn't mainstream, like Peso Pluma singing like in mariachi or something.
Yeah. Well, it's you know what? Right now, not gonna lie, but right now they're doing a great job. There's a lot of schools that are offering programs and things that we didn't have when we were younger.
Correct.
So, when you guys talk to Miguel, I'm sure that he'll explain that to you. But the educational part is important because then you get people that are passionate about it, and then they'll get into it. So for me personally, I don't really care who, what, and how they do it in regards to getting involved in it, but just get involved in it. Mm-hmm. Don't forget about that piece because it's very key. Don't forget about it. And jazz is the same way to me. Like, every time I do it, bro, it brings somebody back, and they're like, dude, that's so dope. Like, I can't believe you know how to do that. Like, oh, you can bring me into that. I did a show at a casino, and I had people like Asians, everyone. They were just like in the mix. Like, damn, like that's dope. And I love that because it's how I felt when I was listening to it, back then. And
I wanted to take you back to that when you're on your Walkman at whatever age, young age. How did you learn, or when did you feel you learned how to feel the lyrics, or when you sang, how did you learn how to, I guess express whatever it is that you're singing.
So I found, even back then, it was about learning how to do it like they did.
So it was more about
it was
that kind of
mimicking.
thing. Yeah.
Later on in life, I found that every teacher's going to tell you less is more, and they're true. It's so true. I went to, I'll give you an example. When I went to Mariachi, I had a very bad habit of using maligma a lot. I used to use a lot of runs, you know? And a lot of kids do that
It's
because
como jugar, right?
jugar con su voz,
Yeah.
you know? Until I heard it and somebody actually told me, hey, bro, you need to cool it with that nonsense. And I'm like, why? It's cool. He's like, no, well, that's not how the song goes. And I thought it was offensive at first, but then I started realizing they're right. It's about, to be honest, the key thing as a singer for me is tone. The tone is everything. Everything after, like, you know, como vas a vibrar tu voz in using, como se llama, vibrato or expressing the song and learning the song, it comes back after. So that's already, like, even when you're doing a Vicente song, like, I can copy him, but if I throw in a little more, a little soulful, a little cut here, and then elongate here, and then give it some, like, el color a la canción. I think those are the things that you may hear. Like, if you hear me sing, like, I sometimes try to mimic certain, depending on what I'm trying to do, but because it depends on the person. But when I do it for me, dude, like, people really gravitate to those key components. It's just the nice, ¿cómo se llama? Como el sentir, el color de la canción es lo que le da the fluid to the song. I don't know. I don't even know how to express that.
Right.
But it even like Peso Pluma, I'll give you an example. I'm glad you brought him up. Peso Pluma is unique. He has a different sound to his voice, raspy, very. He's not clinical. He's not very.
He's not technical.
He's not technical,
Yeah.
but he's raw. Like, he's just
He's very feeling. Yep.
And that is very key to tone, to color a la canción, to how it's coming out, right?
Yeah.
And I look at those things as anyone. Even when I first met Jesse, like, and I'm trying to say, like, I loved his voice. He had a cool voice. And
Everyone does.
you know, there's another dude, Omar Ramos. He had a cool voice. He's got a cool voice too.
Oh yeah.
And I love, like, if I could do, like, mimic voices for a career, man, I'd love to do that. Because I think I could do it, you know, send some shit to Disney or something. You know?
Yeah.
That'd be dope. Yeah. But I'd love to do that because I can flex. I have the ability to kind of bring both. I could bring the low registers really low, and I can also project, which is a gift that I was able to acquire through, you know, a lot of teaching with my teacher. Like, I take lessons. This ain't just like,
Yeah, it didn't just happen.
no.
Yeah.
I had lessons, you know, and Miss Jones, she's my teacher. I give her a lot of props. I send everyone that, you know, that's helped me. I always send her to her. So she's a great vocal teacher, and she's helped me a lot with maintaining más que nada and staying away from bad habits. Because when you get older, your voice starts changing. So you have to find other ways to compensate, you know, not being able to do this, or you can't do this anymore. So that means you have to approach it from this end. And it's pretty cool, man. Like, the things that she throws at me, so I can go home and just do mental notes and continue to do it in my car or whatever.
What do you guys keep on talking about? Maluma. Why is the singer talking about voice techniques with Maluma?
No, he's
Meligma. I think I don't know.
What is that like?
Yeah. Like church, like God.
Not the
save
vibrating. Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Wait. But what's the difference between vibrato and that?
So, like, if you do, like, for example, like, si nos dejan, nos vamos a querer toda la vida. And then instead you'd be like, si nos dejan, nos vamos a querer toda la vida.
I'm getting fucking chills already. Goddamn. Like, woo! Goddamn.
So it's more about playing with the voice, but you're still vibrating on both sides. You know,
You're
those
still,
styles are still.
and then you want to be what's the word that I always like, como tirarle poquito.
Yeah.
You know, like just, and you wanna throw in a little run, but you don't have to do it all the time. You know.
I think when it comes to voices like that, like when they told you less is more, obviously you don't want to take away the essence of the song, but like when you were younger, you were like you wanted to do all the vocal stuff, but they also teaches you to kind of control to keep it simple. So those moments when you do that, it pops out even more, right?
Right.
So I think it's like that's like a rule in the music. You don't want to do all of this all the time.
Right.
Keep it nice and simple so people can catch on. And in that moment, when you do those nice little runs, you do something, it just stands out. You're like, oh.
And even people that don't know music, bro, like I feel like they don't feel the song.
Yeah.
Like they get se pierden. You know, you hear like singers that do too much in the anthem.
Yeah.
I have my theory why I don't do it. I'll tell you, but a lot of people that do too much, le ponen mucha salsa, it's se pierde. You know, and sometimes it's dope. Pero se pierde la esencia de la canción.
Like, cálmate, güey. Ya, cálmate. Calma tus
Y como,
huevos.
como que cada género también, I mean,
Yeah.
some don't need it, you know?
Right.
Like, el regional is muy kind of straight.
Mhm.
Lately, you know, modern singers, they do a lot of,
Yeah.
juegan mucho.
Very, and
Corridos,
it's dope,
you
man.
know,
It's
that was
dope.
unheard of before.
Yeah.
And now a lot of
Yeah,
it.
and I see that.
Yeah.
I see, and I like it. Like
Yeah.
even I like Edwin from the banda. Edwin.
Tracalosa.
Oh, that's one of the singers I hate, bro.
No, I'm talking about from. What's that?
Oh, Edwin from Firme.
Firme.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
okay.
Like he's got that you can hear that tone like that. I don't know who that. I don't know.
I'm actually,
The guy from the banda.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a banda singer, but
He's got a big voice. And
Yeah.
he comes from good genes, too.
Pero I feel like Edwin Luna sí le pone mucho
Edwin Luna.
Crema,
salsa,
sí,
crema.
crema.
y
But it works
todo.
for him, bro. Like that's what I you know, now I don't know how things are going. That's in the beginning I kind of like that. It was organic, it was different.
Yeah.
But I like to study singers, bro. No matter who it is. If I listen to, I'm like, okay, that's dope or that's too much. But that's para mi gusto. Everything's subjective. Everyone's gonna,
Of course.
Yeah.
you know, pick and choose on what they want.
How true is this little maybe theory? Porque yo tengo una teoría de que the success of somebody is based on their tone of their voice, of their singing voice. Because, like, if si es agradable, they're more successful, you know. And I feel like when we're talking with Alacranes about like frequencies, about all this stuff, I have a little like conspiracy theory that you don't have to have a deep voice. You don't have to have like, it could be a high pitched voice, pero si es agradable, if it's great to your ear, you know, people are going to want more of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult, bro, to attract crowds. I like to, I don't care if you don't want to listen, I'm going to make you turn.
I'm
Like,
gonna
that's
make
what
you
I want to
listen.
do. I want to turn, I love the fact that, because I see it. No one else sees it, but I see it. If I'm singing and I know how to back off and también just be background music, because yo me adapto, obviamente con el ambience. Pero I love to sing and I make somebody just turn, like, what the fuck? Like, I love that because then they're like, oh shit, like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
And it's freaky in a way, like, I love.
It happens every time I talk, bro. Every time I turn on the mic, it
got it.
happens to me,
Yeah.
bro. But how can you, how do you differentiate? Because it's more confidence than conceited, being conceited.
But being aware, I think, being honest with your what's coming out. Because to me, it took a while. Because after a while, I stopped listening to myself because I hated how I sounded. But until you start recording yourself, you start listening. Okay, this sounds dope. Like, people are gonna like it. But even though I hate listening to myself, I have to listen to myself to criticize what I did wrong and what I, whatever. Because I make mistakes too, just like everyone else, when I sing. But I take chances. I take risks. And that's what I think separates you from the person that maybe is just a standard singer to a person that can create, I call it like an immersive sound when you got everyone looking at you and you got them right here. And that is key. I'll never forget that one time, bro. One of the best performances I ever did. It was a malfunction in sound. And I was in Las Vegas. I'm sorry, no. We were in Anaheim for Mexico and Corazon. And you could ask Sergio, if you ever bring him back, about that. It was a moment. My boy Hector was there. it was a moment that I'll never forget because it was emotional. We're singing with the mariachi in the back. Like I'm singing, I'm doing a Alejandro Fernandez song, I think it was. And then the power goes out, right? And I had everyone, like maybe around 7,000 people. People were standing, you know, like on every exit. So what I did, I had everyone already like in the mix, in the moment, immersed, I call it. And then I told everyone to just do this, right? Bro, I put that fucking mic down, dude, and I belted it, like everything I could, bro, singing it. You could hear me. I could hear myself bouncing from walls, and there's full of people.
Holy shit.
And bro, it hit, like the music came back right on the right. Boom. We try to mimic it in every y no salió. No salió.
Like, hey, let's try that shit.
Yeah.
Turn off the lights just like
There's a guy in the background just waiting.
Just make it seem that the light went out, but
Oh, man.
you know, a minute 1:02, just cut it.
Have you had an experience, bro, where you're singing and you can't contain that emotion?
That was one.
That was one of them?
That was it. That
Yeah.
was the one.
And was it just because of that, the
Yeah,
power
because,
going out kind of thing?
Because I never had that feeling, dude. When it came back, the sound came, bro, the whole place went crazy. And then I walked out. When I was done, thank you so much. Everyone would cheer me to come back out, like like I just hit the home run and shit. I walked back I walked to my dressing room, bro, and I had a lot of emotions, like that. Like I never felt like that in my life,
Right.
You know, because I'm very critical. I'm that type that I'm so critical, and that was a moment that there was so much like wow, and I'll never forget that. That was one that, you know, I put those in the memory bank. I wish somebody would have recorded it, because it was. But
The power went out, so the battery went out too.
I'll stick to the Bulls like in the 90s, you know, like in the 80s. They didn't record shit like that.
That's true.
It wasn't that.
Dude, as long as you remember it.
Yeah, that's all that matters, man. I'll always remember those memories. As far as other ones, I've had glimpses, man. Memories in La Tequileria, when I have people, like when it's intimate and I'm singing and people are so in tune, bro. They're hearing every crystal part of my voice.
Yeah.
And it's so dope. And then people are just like, and I could tell they enjoy it. They have so much emotion, they don't know what to do, like after, you know. And those are experiences that I have because of the gift, man. I'm very grateful, you know.
And how did you, being that you were always, you know, didn't know how to, I guess you could say, take the compliments at the beginning. Did it take you a while to learn how to take them? Because I think that's also in the Mexican culture. We're not used to the compliments. And I know Jesse siempre, you do tell me like, hey man, I don't know. People come up to me, hey, it's just no sabe cómo a veces reaccionar, because we're just us, bro. We're you know, we don't think we're anything special, you know. Maybe to this date you're still probably
same way,
right?
Same way. I'm like, it's cool. It's cool. Like I always say, it's cool. I can't take off my shirt, bro. I can't do all that. Like I can't do that. I can't do the.
You ain't that confident.
Yeah. No, bro. I still gotta be like.
No, it's funny because when anybody comes in, they're like, "Are we taking off my shirt today?"
know, right?
Everyone.
It has to happen organically, like the power turning off.
Yeah.
We'll have Jose later on come in the background.
Right.
Turn off the lights.
I just, you know, because I mean, you're obviously growing in popularity, and cuando uno no está, and then you know you're very humble, bro. You're very, you know, soft-spoken. De repente, it's not like you're big on just being out there like that, right? So I know it's an adjustment, or it can be an adjustment to accept it.
Well, I had to learn how to take the compliment, to learn how to say thank you, and not downplay myself, and that's what propelled me. I think that's what propelled me, where I can share a simple greetings with somebody and remember and provide a card or something to the person or the client, whoever it may be, or give them a memory of me so they can always reach back out, you know?
Right.
I'm big on corporate events. They reach out all the time. But for me to get to those corporate events that I have, it required a lot of, like, you know, I hate using the word, but politicking. You got to be able to share some kind of memory and express to them, like just a joke or even talking to clients, it took a lot of work on my end to do that. And to be honest, when I turn it off, dude, I turn it off. Like, I go home, I don't put no music. Like, I'm in my zone at home. Like, everything is separated. Even with my career, like, everything. It's like, it's weird, man, because I'm not the type that love that attention. To this day, it wasn't about that. And I feel it's that maybe, and to be honest with you, it's also hindered me in my career in the fact that maybe I don't like, I've experienced the opportunities that have been offered back then from, you could say Hollywood in that sense, you know, like the nonsense of that. And it's just not my character. I don't like being told how to be. I don't want to be guided to talk this way or tell you that my struggle of living in the hood, or like, I don't like that, you know. And I went to one of those shows. I'm not going to tell you what show it is, but I went to one of those you got to audition for. Big shows.
I was actually going to ask you about it.
Big shows.
Yeah.
And it's eye-opening. I did it twice. I did it when I was younger, a big one, and then this last one's huge. Mm-hmm. And this was a few years back. This was during like COVID, and I went, dude, and it was a very eye-opening. I made a lot of good, like, they loved who I was, you know, but it wasn't enough because they wanted me to fall on my knees, querían que llorara, querían que diga esto, que diga, like, controlando
El narrative.
Y yo no, güey.
And they completely would tell you they wanted that.
Me tenían por 2 horas entrevistando y luego me mandaron a hacer el audición, todo fue bien. Me metieron otra vez a hacer las mismas preguntas para ver cómo me sentía emocionalmente. And para mí, bro, like, ese no es que dinos cómo te sientes. Paraban la cámara y dice, es que tienes que, no mames, no.
Yeah.
That's not me, right?
It's like that con payaso, the guy, he's like, eso ya no es tengo talento, muchos talentos, tengo problemas, muchos problemas. Like, whoever has more problems wins and shit.
Yeah.
No. Y eso, like, por eso, para mí, los que hacen el jale para ellos mismos, like, people that are like musicians, engineers, and their own like talent and their control is dope because they control whatever they want. That's freedom to the max. Yep. So my freedom, bro, that I have, I love it. I have my career and I do what I do now, and I'm okay with that. I am not looking to try to, you know, create an image of something that I'm not, and I'm never gonna be that way. And it's okay for those who do it because I understand the hustle.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because there is a lot of gain to that, but there's also, you know, what comes with that too. Yep. And it's if you're not mentally ready for something like that, it's just like a professional football player or basketball player. If you don't know how to manage your finances or your life, vas a caer en otro lado. Yeah. You know, mostly for us that grew up in areas where we really weren't taught about finances and understanding the basics of business, right?
Right.
And I had to learn that. So I had to learn that for the purpose of that, the business. I didn't have to get to, ¿cómo se llama? I didn't take courses or nothing like that, but I just asked. I asked people that are in the business. I asked, how does that work? What are the things that I can do to help me on my business and what I can do to navigate through all the noise.
All the hurdles.
Yeah. And it's crazy. But it's funny because we all help each other. We were just talking in the room like, you know, Gio, like it's, and then and Jesse, I've asked Jesse so many times like about gear and I'm always open, dude. Even if it's bad criticism, I'll take it. If it's good criticism, I just like, you know, I'll take it in, I'll analyze it, and just like.
I think what we need to normalize is this is a consejo that I've been probably that it needs to be said, but reach out, ask questions.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there's a lot of people, you know, pregunten. And recently I've been getting messages también like, hey, I saw you here, you're using this, what are you using, what kind of laptop? And I'm like, look, are you just starting or are you not starting? You're not going to spend,
$5,000 on something if you're just starting. And
Right.
like there's starter kits of everything, but like in the DJ world, you have to. There's so much ego, and I think one of the things that people have that tienen esa cosa de decir, no, pues es bien famoso, no me va a contestar. O al contrario, es bien mamón,
Yeah.
no me va a
Right.
contestar. So it's like, I think it's, pregunten, send a message. I think we're accessible now with social media, where you could send a message to our pages to pretty much anything.
Yeah.
And some people do it, and yeah, we're gladly. I mean, I feel like if we're all in agreement, we're gladly, if we have time, we're gonna reply.
Yeah.
No, I think you're
I think it's a big stigma too, right? Like
Yeah.
I think it's a culture thing. Like it's just the ego is huge, Uno no se ha acostumbrado a preguntar, and the other thing I just when you say, oh, you moved to like when you went to West Line, and I think it's we're not used to the politeness from people.
Right.
Like you don't even want to ask because you're used to like que te manden la chingada right away. Exactly. You're not expecting the correct answer or any kind of answer.
Right.
You're actually surprised, taken aback, like, oh, they actually want to help me.
Right.
And I think that's the part where we have to break that bad as a culture. It
Stigma.
starts with us, man. Like hey, we got to learn how to ask, and we got to learn how to answer and all that stuff, and not just cut people off and a lot of all that stuff, man.
I agree. Just being like, if you look at that in context, like it showed resilience to what every person that's gone through it back then. So it prepared us for the real world, whereas now it's very catered, right, to kids. But it showed resilience in our end to actually pay attention and not be bamboozled by the BS, because that's what a lot of people do. You've heard it. Everyone knows that they tell you things that you reach the stars, you do this and that, and it's that if you can kind of understand other people's like stories and understand like what they've been through, then you become more of not an arrogant, but more professional, because you're already expecting the hit. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I don't think that for me personally, like maybe my character isn't to be a superstar. Right. And I'm gonna be real with you. I love what I do, but my character isn't. For those who are and they believe it, make it till you make it. Hey man, more power to you. I will never judge them. Because I know that they're probably gonna have it harder than I am. You know what I mean? Like it's easier. And bro, I won't forget. Gonzo said something key. Like he traveled the world. He traveled the world. He did, and he's one of the guys in Chicago that was did a lot that I know
At a very young age.
at a very young age,
Yep.
and he was still able to like focus on just the basic fundamentals of family, of the things that que anhelábamos nosotros, And to be honest, if you think about like even Chente, bro, like that dude, he went through it all, right? But how do you instill that to your sons to have that normalization of family and unity? And it's difficult to share that unless you live it. Because you got to think about it. Alejandro and all his sons, they were all catered to that.
Right.
They had that.
Plus, Dad wasn't around too much.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not taking it away from Alejandro. I'm just saying, like, it's a different type of, like, what we want.
Yeah.
Lo que anhelamos, right? And going back to to our people and talking to our people, that's why I love your show, man, because I think it gives it the perspective on everyone's journey. And it's dope. It's so dope because it's similar. It's all the same.
What's up? You say you don't want to be famous, but you are, man. You became a freaking viral sensation doing the Mariachi, National Anthem, White Sox, everything. But like, what is your goal? What's a goal that you would want to accomplish? I mean, I have goals. I've probably accomplished a lot of things.
Yeah.
I kind of, it resonates. Your story kind of resonates. I just didn't move to Melrose, but it was just more like, I know I have a goal, but what is your goal, like, personally?
You know what? I think at this point of my life is focusing on my family. The number one thing, my nucleus. I think it's one of the things that I'm devoted to, and I made that commitment to excel in that. I'm gonna be a girl dad soon, so I'm very
Congrats.
Yeah, congratulations.
Congrats.
And it's a beautiful thing, bro. You listen to people like antes que en paz descanse, Kobe.
Right.
He had everything, bro, everything, but he focused on his kids, and I'm not comparing myself to him, but there is a beautiful essence to being able to share the common like ideas and giving somebody. I don't know if my kid's gonna sing. I don't know how that's gonna go, but I'm gonna judge him at a.
just talk to him.
Starts
Hey,
crying.
stop doing that.
Así no.
Así no.
Yeah, but I'm very happy with what's happening right now and at this point in my life and the journey that's going. So we'll see what comes my way.
Being that you've touched, I've seen your videos and you touched a lot of kind of genres. Is there any kind of plans to say I want to record with something like maybe like a big band as far as
Una
like Frank Sinatra?
tecnocumbia.
My compa loves this big band.
I
swing
love
band,
big band,
like,
like when you hit the whole Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin stuff. That's
Yeah.
my stuff right there, right?
Well,
So, like,
I would love to, man. I have I can't say I know a lot of. I know more mariachis
yeah,
than jazz, and my maestro Mike Benning, he's my jazz guru guy who he's brought me into even Andy's jazz bar and stuff like that, which is dope.
yeah,
And it's a matter of budgeting. It's a
Yeah.
matter of financing.
Oh, of course.
And there's not a lot of like if you have a banda, like maybe like that's a trend. Like you have more money that people are gonna dump, but that it's taxing, man.
Yeah.
It's taxing on me. It's taxing, and then I ask favors too from people that have helped me out a lot, that come out and done stuff for me personally, and I'm very grateful for that. Pero like I won't ask people to continue to do something like that. I don't want to. I hate asking y lo hacen de buen corazón, pero no quiero saber carga. I hate being a carga, And I do a lot of my own stuff, like even on Instagram and all of that. Like I invested in my gear. I hate putting myself out there, bro. I swear to you, I do. But I have to because it just keeps that algorithm going, right?
Right.
But I've worked. I can't be an engineer. I can't be a musician. I don't have time, right?
yeah.
And I need the help. And to be honest with you, what I'm doing now works. I would love to do a big band concert one day. And un día sí se va a hacer, pero I don't see it in any coming up anytime soon. I'd love to, man, honestly, if I can get the right people to assist.
No,
and
man,
I have the musicians.
No, I'm saying I hope it
Yeah.
does happen. Like honestly, because I just think
Yeah.
you would kill it in that that genre, and I would love to see you.
I don't-
Something
I
doing
just
something.
imagine you like walking into this big ass hall, right?
Yeah.
Big ass stage, and then one of the things that I liked were the musicians in their little box. There was like 18 boxes.
Yes.
And hay un maestro just directing, and then
yeah.
just man, I would love to see
I want
that.
I want Jesus in like a 3-piece suit, like
Yes.
Frank Sinatra kind of thing,
Yeah.
and just smoking.
And a
Cigar.
fake
It's a
cigar.
cigar. It's a fake
Or-
cigar.
or-
Gum cigar.
We'll see, man. Hopefully not too far from here.
Hopefully, man. Hopefully.
Financiers looking
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
financiers.
we'll
Jálense.
Yeah, I got some. You know what? I did a cool. I don't know if you've seen them, but I did a really quick a concert, not a concert, a video. For Christmas, I always do it. But man, even with that little piece band that I had, it sounded so badass.
Hell yeah.
And it's different. It's just, and people they love it. They get immersed in that sound that the idea. But that's one on a bucket list, bro, for sure.
How about musicals, bro? You never mess with like musicals and stuff like that?
I have
Theater?
the voice for it. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
you
sure.
do.
hell
You
yeah.
do.
Yeah, you know what? I never did it. I'm lying. I did what's that song? What's that show? The eating plant. What was it?
Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah,
Little
yeah,
Shop
yeah.
of Horrors.
I fucking love that
I
movie.
did that, bro. I did
Oh
that.
shit.
I did that in. I want to say it was what was it? Freshman year. It was.
That's awesome.
I did, but I was too nervous.
Me, baby.
Yeah, feed me, Seymour.
Feed me, Seymour.
Yeah, no, I had a very small piece in that, but because they didn't know.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, they have music here? Like, okay.
Let's
like,
do it.
Because, bro, I went to Hedges, too, for a while. I don't know if you know where Hedges is at, 47th and Damon. I moved a lot in my life, so. But in Hedges, they were starting a music program. And I shit you not, I don't know what teacher, he's like, oh, we want to do something after school. And he brought sticks, bro. We're like eating sticks. And he's teaching us like Brazilian music and shit. I was like, okay, sure. I guess, you know.
Yeah.
Bing, bing, bing,
But
bing.
whatever.
Bing, bing, bing.
When it comes down to like, your music selection, I'm not gonna ask. I know it's a broad question, right?
Yeah.
But if you have to pick, what's your favorite or top 2 or 3 songs that you like to sing when it comes to mariachi songs?
Damn. That's tough.
Yeah.
I think para mariachi, that for me that's really hit people is Quisiera Saber. A lot of people know that song that I do it. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
And for like mariachi, another one would be I'd say Sabor a mí, because that was the first song I ever like sang.
Okay.
So that specific, because I did a translation. I do it in Spanish and then I do it in English. And when I go on the English, they're like, damn, what the fuck? They freak out, bro. People freak out.
Yeah.
I love that. That's a dope
So
song.
you're big on the English and Spanish, like My Way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that actually was one of the songs that I did for the audition at the big.
Nice. Yeah.
And they loved it. But they didn't love the story. They wanted me to cry.
You're a great singer, bro.
Yeah.
But you need to cry.
But you need to cry a little
Hey,
bit.
can you come in a little dirty next
Yeah.
time?
Can you say you're homeless, that you need an operation?
That you're what is it, like that golden voice guy that he was
yeah.
you were asking for money on the street and you're
Yeah, ándale.
Yeah.
No. Se pasa.
What's something like? Would you be able to do like a banda, like a cumbia song? Do you think your voice can be adjusted para esos géneros?
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to tell you something that maybe a lot of people don't know. But in the beginning, I did. I love Luis Miguel. I got into a gospel choir for a long time.
Oh,
So
nice.
it taught me a lot of power, like,
Belting it out.
I did that. I did even a salsa group for a
No
little bit.
way.
I was going to ask about the salsa
Holy
groups.
And
shit.
people, like, they were like, wow, like, you could, I mean,
You
I
could project,
Si
yeah.
puede, si se puede.
Yeah,
Si
yeah,
sale,
yeah.
pues. You
Mambo
know?
Kings on that, bro.
Yeah.
And then I did that for a while, which was different, because salsa is something that is out of our element, But because, I mean, I'm kind of like everywhere in that sense. Like, I felt like I could execute as long as I can hear it and like mimic it as much as I can, and then I do it. I've done some Hector Lavoe songs. Even in my sets, I do it, and people are like, "Damn!" I do some Bronco.
Yes.
Like, people be like, "What the hell?" Like, yeah, but a little bit of everything never hurt anyone. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Even I did the anthem for the first time for the Sox, and it became viral, and I thought it was funny, but people were calling me because if you look at all the messages, like, some of them were racist as hell, bro.
Yeah, I bet.
Bogus. I thought it was funny. I thought like, well, motherfucker, you come and do it then,
Yeah.
But I don't think it's funny. I mean, what I say, I don't look at things like that in that space, because every artist that you see, bro, has ripped off from this other person, from this other person, from this.
Did a little
I
bit
don't
of
care
something.
what genre, it could be in Indian music or whatever. They all use that same thing, same thing, and we all just match it up differently.
I think that was one of the first times I saw you, if I'm correct, was in a gospel choir, and I think that was one of the first times.
Shit.
And if we're talking about it, but not really talking about it, but that was kind of a question I want to ask you. Is like, how did it's hard because, you know, how did religion play
Yeah.
into what you wanted to do?
So it was hard because my father was a musician. He wanted to do music, but he became Jehovah's Witness, and I grew up in the culture of the JW. So that's what centered me in the sense of not thinking beyond that, right? So my father stopped the music, obviously, because it was kind of secular music, which they still allowed it, but it just wasn't something that you would want to do as a career. So, but one thing that I got from that, it gave me some structure.
Okay.
So on a personal level, music-wise, we were limited to that. They didn't allow us. But I would, you know, be on the other side listening to, you know, Fred Hammond, or like these like power like singers, or even, oh man, Smokey Norfolk. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. Oh my God, bro! And these guys, they could be superstars. They just went into that direction of gospel.
And that was just you researching this, or who would put you on with all these artists?
So when I got into gospel, my friend Tim, he was actually a AAA player for the. He was gonna get picked up for the Baltimore Orioles.
Okay.
So he was gonna be a pitcher, and he's a shortstop. But he was a piano player and a singer.
Jeez.
And he was dope. And he in a band in Chicago, bro, a Baptist band. And he took me over there, bro, and everyone was like, "Who is this Mexican?" Like, damn,
Look at this baby.
Look at this whole thing. Jesus.
Oh my God, bro! And then when you sing,
Come here, sugar.
bro,
Come here, sugar. Oh man.
you hear that you hear the choir in the back, bro, and then you're like singing over them and you're repeating it. It's so dope, man. It is so dope. There's a singer, you know, Cristian Castro, right?
Yeah.
He loved to do that if you listen to his recordings from back in the day, like you listen to a lot of his songs, bro, and he added choir in his, bro. That right there, bro, is you cannot, like, that's immersive. That's so dope, you know. But
Damn. It was just like sometimes I would see you and I'm like, man, I don't hear Chewy. I don't hear him. I'm that audio snob. Like, it's funny because anywhere I go, my girl's always like, well, what are you looking at? What bitch are you looking at? And I'm like, looking at the fucking engineer because he's not fucking putting this, or this fucking speaker sounds this way,
Right.
and this guy sounds really fucking horrible. He should have more monitors. So I'm that audio snob. So like whenever I'm not working, like if you see me like callado, I'm analyzing something, like something's not right, and it's like something doesn't sound right to me, and it's just something that I need to control sometimes. It's just when I hear it. So like when I would see you perform, I'm like, I know he could do better.
yeah.
I know he could do
something's
better.
going on.
Something's going on, right?
Going on.
I had every time I come to a gig, like it was with the mariachi or whatever, and we meet a lot of DJs. But when it's Jesse, bro, like it's like, I mean, he puts out the red carpet, bro. And I've had DJs, bro, that don't even let you touch the mic.
Yeah.
I had one, bro. He was, I mean, I don't want to bust
Put him out.
No, I'm not. Because he's like, you know how much that mic costs? I'm like, motherfucker, I know how much that mic. Like, chill, bro.
I got 5 of them.
Well, I didn't say that, but I'm the real, bro.
I know Gio, bro. I know.
Right. I go to the source.
Like if I break up, I'm gonna get you a discount. So
Right,
shut the fuck up. Nah, you know what? It's just it goes back to like believing in your talent, and when you shine, like I shine. That's how I kind of see it in it. Like in an event, it's always it has to be memorable. It has to be memorable.
I agree.
So, ¿para qué ponernos in like fuck you? I'm not gonna let you use my mic.
Yeah.
You're like.
Right.
Like, you got to bring your own stuff. No. Trust me. I've gone through so many mics. I've gotten so many mics, like, had crap on it. I had lipstick all over it. I mean, it's just, me lo maltratan. But it's part of the business, though. It's part
of course.
Part of everything. But it's like, that's my idea in the sense of, like, hey, you got to shine. You're here for a purpose. You're here to do a job. You're here to perform, I got to make you look good. Like,
Well, I'm
even
glad.
though-
I'm glad you say that because I'm gonna make it clear right now. I buy gear because I want that sound, right? And when I met you, I'm just letting you, babe, because I buy shit. But this is why I buy shit.
So I'm the dangerous guy.
Yeah, I buy stuff because I want to make sure that everyone gets the full. Like, I price myself. There's a lot of people that hate, where I'm at, right? As far as what I charge, and it sucks because I know that, it's fucked up that they think that I'm making myself feel like I'm more or whatever. But I'm giving you a service that's gonna give you everything, and I'm investing, and I'm putting my work, my voice into something that is gonna come out, dope. And that's how I hear it. I go to venues, I go to places, and I hear it. And dude, you could be a badass singer, bro, but if your sound is shit, that's what
It don't matter how good you are.
It don't matter.
Yeah.
It don't matter. You're singing in front of 1,000 people, and then you're just screaming, and no one can hear you.
Yeah.
So.
No, I completely, that's why I'm just like, yeah, here. And it's funny because on my like DJ table, everybody, after like the new speakers I got, I left like the sticker. You know how sometimes they have stickers on the speakers? I put it right there. I'm like, take a picture. That's what you want to get.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
what you
hey, I
want
was
to get.
wondering. That's right there.
Yeah, take a picture
He'll
right
have it on there. He'll have it.
No, going back to your point, because most of these places you're playing for someone's probably most memorable day in their life.
Exactly.
Be it a wedding, be it. I always tell the bands too, like, hey man, you guys got to realize these people fucking saved sometimes a year or more so that we can be here.
Exactly.
For us to just fuck it up, and así no es.
No.
Así no. Un día se va a casar uno y vas a darte cuenta like, oh, I want my day to be perfect.
Yeah.
So why are you gonna fuck it up?
Right.
Yep.
But I mean, that's how it is, G. You guys,
We could dive way deeper into that subject.
it's
but
que not
no,
everyone
no,
sees it like that.
Nobody sees
No.
Not everyone sees it.
No,
like that.
es que porque cuando like, let's say respectively, you say your price, and you're like, bien mamón, nomás va a cantar. Nomás va a cantar una hora. And it's like, no. And it's like, it's your time. Your time is so valuable. And I, like, even probably nowadays, like, I'm probably on the same boat because I got in a bad comment one time at a festival. They're like, oh, we're going to hire you, but damn, you're so expensive. Like, why do you have to charge so much? I'm like, if you only knew.
Yeah.
If you only knew. And it's like, it's not just what the facade is of just showing up. It's our experience, our talent, or why everything goes so smooth. Why does everything go? Why are you dancing? Right. Because not anybody could play a song, anybody could sing a song, but you got to make it memorable.
Of course, yeah.
We appreciate all the people that when we first started performing and did our mistakes, but we were not charging as much.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's 10, 15, 20 years of experience to be able to closely,
or even more,
not even perfected, even more,
Yes.
to be able to do what we do and charge what we charge, bro.
Yeah.
And people that know.
Right.
And people that don't know, you just got to smile and say, look, I'm sorry, vaya con el otro. You know? Jump on it, because it ain't me.
And then a week before the event, they canceled on me.
Jesús, aprovecho también para preguntarte o para dejarte saber aprovechar ahorita el momento. If there's somebody in particular that you would want to shout out, right here in the pod. We love doing the pods for obvious reasons, but for me, the biggest reason is to be able to have this obviously up on the platforms forever. Yeah. And look back at it,
for sure.
one day and say like, oh, look at,
Well, I think the shout outs have to go to the people that made it happen for me and why I'm here. So I think like, I owe a lot to Danny Torres. He's one of my best friends. He was my number one fan. You know what I mean? So I think everyone in this industry always have somebody, their support. And he always kept me like, in some sense, like abajo de las nubes, always making sure that, hey bro, like you messed up here or whatever. But it was always good criticism. So I want to do a shout out to him because, I owe him a lot. He was there from thick and thin. And, I also want to give thanks to David and the Suarez's because I know they gave me basically they propelled me to get my confidence, my music out there and more and listened to by more people. And really just, you guys, I think I give a lot of praise to the people that make the moments like this like special. And because everyone here does it with a kind heart, dude. Everyone here is looking out for each other, not trying to bash anyone, not trying to bring people down, always trying to show a place to showcase of what we do. And I really admire what you guys do. And I really want to thank each and every one of you, because I'm still learning with everything that's happening, but I'll give a shout out to you guys, man, because you guys are great, man. Thank you. And for all the artists that are coming up, man, this is a great space for them. I mean, you guys are really helping this propel them, you know. Right. And thank you guys, appreciate it. Thank you for the time. Hopefully, I didn't keep you guys too long. So
no, not at all, bro. Not at all. Mi compa Jesse?
I'm happy that we got to hear about the confidence, your confidence that a lot of people have an issue with that.
Yeah. And
just having that fine line, talking about it because it's so common. I've always admired you from day one, man, from seeing you, in different places and it just showing that love. And then now it's just progressing. Hey, what's up, Jesse? How are you? And then, it's just that like brotherhood. Yeah. And, like I've always said to like people that I love their talent. Like I said, man, I'm your fan. Thank you. I've seen, radio hosts. I've seen artists. I'll tell them directly and local artists, like these guys are my fans. Like I'm a fan of them. Yeah. I'm a fan of what they do, what they did. I'm a fan of yours, man. And it just hopefully everything propels. I liked how your story was more like patience. It was more like subtle. Like you weren't looking for it. You weren't. And a lot of us, when we're in the entertainment business, it's like, you got to hustle, you got to do this. And it's just like more. Yours was like, you know what? Si viene, viene. Y si no, pues voy a estar contento. Yeah. And I think that's more of a little bit of a mentality that everybody has to have. But I think that was just more of a lesson for me. And a lot of your story resonated with me. It's more like, you know what? Be content with what we have right now.
Absolutely.
Like, I mean, 41 years old, and it's like, I'm happy with the career that I've had and, my brand and stuff like that. Right. So it's like you're putting your brand and it's like, okay, I'm cool with it. Yeah. and that could be fine. Yeah. A lot of people just have that mentality. It's like, oh, no soy famoso y soy un fracaso. No, it's una verga. Mm-hmm. But, I always said I'm not famous because God doesn't want to give me money because I'll be reckless as a motherfucker, goddammit. I'll be bankrupt in 1 week, man. Like, I'll be buying shit for everybody. You want tacos today? Right, I got tacos right now. And that's the reason why God doesn't want to give me money.
Grills and everything.
Everything, man. I'll be having
a personal taquero with you. Going to
pretty much, man. And I'll end up singing it. And I'll be 2 stacks every day.
As you walk, everyone's giving you a shirt.
But
what time is it?
But again, agradecido that you always give us a space, man. You're top 3 singers, man. In my list, dude. Always a pleasure to work with you, be in your presence, and have that brotherhood, man. So
thank you. Gracias.
Mi compa Fry?
You've always obviously piqued my interest because of your voice. Like it was, it's been just awesome hearing you with mariachi. But then hearing you, like when you do the voice, like I'm always gonna go back. I appreciate that you sing other stuff. Yeah. Like my compadre said, like I love big band, and when you started hitting like Elvis and Frank Sinatra, and even like Chris Stapleton, you did Tennessee Whiskey. And I'm just like, this guy has something else. Like this guy has that thing that I kind of I share with, which is like we listen to other stuff and we appreciate the other music. Right. So knowing that it's just kind of genuine coming from you, where you were just curious, you just didn't care what genre it was, and listening to it, it just kind of piques on you. Like knowing that history, it makes me appreciate more your future, which is going to be just bright, and I can't wait to see what more you do and what more kind of stuff, comes along, hopefully in the future. And I really, really hope that you do that big band or something. Like I really would love to see that, man.
I appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to lie, man. It took me about 20 minutes to shake off my fuck up in the beginning. Mentally, to just be like, oh, my God, you're such an idiot, right? But just putting it out there, there's a soccer player with that famous thing, right? But I'm also not going to lie. Coming into this, I I told myself it's one of these pods like with con el señor Sergio, with you as well, where I was not gonna speak much because it's people like you guys and you in particular tonight that I really want to listen and learn from you because I think you're an incredible singer. You have an incredible talent, and the more and more I can learn from people like you and el señor Sergio Suarez. For me, it's like let's take a seat back and learn, and I did. And you're right. We can, we didn't even scratch the surface on your singing career, but whatever we did talk about, or everything that we did talk about, I think resonates with all of us. Mm-hmm. For me tonight, it was an honor to be with honestly with three great voices. Because for me, it's like you are our guest tonight. I will always say that my compadre Fry is like my teacher. He's my hype guy, but he's also the guy that corrected me along my career. And Jesse, he's just the voice, whenever we go drive through, we want him to order.
But I have two number ones, please.
Hey, do you ever sing the Miranda rights to people like freeze, motherfucker?
You have the right to remain silent.
No, but hey, man, I stopped a mariachi group a long time ago, bro. And I told them, hey, bro, y'all sing El Rey for me right now, and I'll let you go.
Nice.
Motherfucker, pull out the vihuela, bro.
Real quick. Desafinado and everything. Like, fuck, this is
It was a while back.
Yeah. Bro, do you remember once when they stopped with the banda? We had the bus and they wanted us to play to make sure that we were not
a band.
Like, bro, we only got a bus, bro. What do you mean?
Yeah.
We'll make sure we're not transporting any narcotics. There we go in the fucking pinche tambor y todo ahí. But yeah, man. Jesus, thank you, bro. Thank you very much. It was great. It was great to hear your story. Like I said, it was great hanging out with all three of you guys today. Yeah. Great voices all around. Thank you so much. Para toda la gente que está escuchando y está viendo, muchísimas gracias. Vamos empezando. We're barely a fourth of the way through the season. I hope you enjoy the whole season. Para nuestros sponsors, our friends, support us, support them. Subscribe, como dicen todos por ahí. And thank you very much. Ya se la saben. Para mi compa, Mexican Jay-Z. I don't think we shouted him out in the first. God, damn. See, I was off at the beginning, bro.
He was off.
I knew something was missing in the beginning.
The effect you have on us.
I was like in awe.
You made us all nervous.
I don't know if it was Jesus or the Cubs gear.
It was the Rick James
aura. The Cubs gear was like, shit.
It was his aura,
Yeah. I apologize to our guys, man. We can't do this without them. Mechudo. Mexican Jay-Z, Jose Cermeño, my boy Georgie in the background. Thank you very much. Para toda la gente. Oh, you were about to say?
I was about to make sure you shout out Georgie.
Georgie, you're going to get love this season, baby. Ahí estamos, viejones. Ya saben, read a book. La pura positiva.
Salud.
Salud.
A GuacPod Season 6.
Este episodio está patrocinado por nuestros compas de Casa Humilde Cervecería. Cerveza artesanal, elaborada aquí en Chicago, with a variety of 10 different styles to choose from. Casa Humilde is located at the District Brew Yards, 417 North Ashland in Chicago. Follow them on IG and like them on Facebook at Casa Humilde Cerveceria. To check availability near you, go to www.casahumildechicago.com and check out the store locator. You could also pick up some chelas at the District Brew Yards. Casa Humilde Cerveceria. Stay humilde. This GuacPod episode is brought to you by Borjas Law Group. El abogado Borjas contestará todas tus preguntas, explicará el proceso específico de inmigración que aplica en su caso, el tiempo que se toma procesar su caso y los costos asociados con las tarifas de inmigración y los honorarios legales. Llama al 312-788-2783 para programar tu cita. Y ahí de pasada, menciona el GuacPod para que te den tu consulta gratis.
This episode is brought to you by Rancho Los Guzman. Hands down, one of the most beautiful rancho-style venues there is in the Chicagoland area. They offer all the necessary services so that your next event is unforgettable. From weddings, quinceañeras, VIP private events, and holiday corporate events. Relax and enjoy while they take care of every single detail. Book your next event at Rancho Los Guzman, 2225 Maple Road in Joliet. For more information, call 815-200-4713 or check out their website at rancholosguzman.com. Se siente bien cuando tomamos la decisión correcta, como cuando eliges la canción perfecta para el momento perfecto o decides tomar una buena noche de descanso después de un día muy agitado. Tan bueno como tomar la decisión correcta en el tema de seguros. Por eso, Gessiel Gutierrez es agente de State Farm y está aquí en Albany Park para ayudarte a elegir la protección que quieres, el precio que quieres. Gessiel te explicará todo acerca de tus coberturas con State Farm para que sepas qué esperar si ocurre lo inesperado. Con Gessiel Gutierrez es fácil tomar la decisión correcta. Marca su número hoy. Como un buen vecino, State Farm está ahí. This episode is brought to you by Goodfellas Parlor, located at 5939 West 35th Street in Cicero. They are open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. Go check them out on Facebook and follow them on Instagram. Make sure you look good, fellas.
It's also brought to you by Chicago Stickers. Contact R.A Graphix or Chicago Stickers. They're located in Elgin and they print everything from stickers, business cards, t-shirts, flyers, truck lettering. But they got you covered for all the trade show products, like table covers, like this one, like ours, banners, canopies, backdrops, and much more. So for more info, follow them on IG at R.A Graphix with an X or at Chicago Stickers.
Today's episode is brought to you by Aguacate Chicago. Create your custom garment with us. We offer direct-to-garment services for your business or personal needs. There is no minimum order required, and we can also assist with creating your logo if needed. Follow us on all of our social media platforms under Aguacate Chicago.